Hey folks, my name is Max Remont from Kids Fishing TV, and today I want to take a few minutes out of your time to teach you folks how to properly rig a swim bait with a stinger hook. It's fall right now, and this is when the bait fish spawn, so there's nothing better to throw than a big swim bait or a big crankbait, and you're going to have a lot of luck with catching those big bass. So I'm going to dive right into the video because I do not have much time to waste. I'm going to start off by talking about the materials in which you're going to need. You're going to want your swim bait, and you don't have to get those expensive swim baits. You can go into the store and get 2 swim baits for $5, and once you add a stinger hook and make a few more adjustments on this bait, you can catch just as many fish as you would on something like a Huddle stick. So you're going to want your swim bait. This is a Panther Martin 6-inch, and as you can see, the hook on this is going to be garbage. It's way too big. So the second thing that you're going to need in order to do this modification is just a simple strand of braided line. And the reason why braid is better than mono is because it has a smaller diameter, so you're able to use a higher pound test without having a big diameter line that the fish can see. So I like to use about 40-pound test. It's still got a really small diameter so the fish can't see it, but it still has that strength to get those big fish in. The third thing that you're going to need in order for this modification to the swim bait is a treble hook. And the size of this treble hook will depend on the size of your swim bait. So the bigger the swim bait, the bigger the size hook. And basically, just what you want to keep an eye out for is you don't want your hook to be too big so that it doesn't fit in the fish's mouth and it will take away the action of the swim bait, but you don't want it too small for it not to be effective. So just keep an eye on that when you're purchasing your treble hook. And you're going to have to buy a pack of 2 probably or more, but there we go, that's mine. And last thing you're going to want are wire cutters. So the first thing that you're going to want to do for your modification is cut the hook that is already on your swim bait off. This one is garbage. It's probably really strong, but it's just too big for the bait. And that's one thing that's really going to deter fish. I said to use wire cutters, but it didn't work, so I had to break out the saw. So that shows that the hooks actually aren't that bad, with their strength. So after about 10 minutes, I finally was able to get through the hook, and I did a little bit of damage to the top fin, but not bad. I can just trim up that fin a little bit more, and it'll go unnoticed. These hooks are strong as heck. It's a shame that they put the wrong size on, because that is one strong hook. So now what you're going to want to do, get your braided line and tie it on to the eyelet on the front of the swim bait. You can use basically any knot. You just have to remember that if you're doing something like a clinch knot, you're going to have to wrap it around more times because braid is really slippery and will slip easier. So now that we have our clinch knot tied up there, what you're going to want to do is just get the knot and slide it down so that it won't interfere with where you're going to be putting on your main line. The next thing that you're going to want to do is tie on your hook. And this may take a few times. It really is challenging getting the right distance. What you're going to want to look for is just before you tie the knot, look where you think your hook should be. I think it should be somewhere around there. You don't want it to interfere with the moving tail, but you don't want it to be too far up that the bass won't get it. So I'd say, right about there is good. So we finally got the hook tied on at the right length. And what you're going to want to do now is look for, if you look at your treble hook, you're going to have 2 hooks that are together and 1 hook that's lonely. You're going to want to get that lonely hook down here, as you can see right there, and cut that off, because that is not going to be used. Again, I like to cover, when I cut, I like to cover it with like a blanket, just so that it doesn't go flying and get lost, because this is something that you don't want in your dog's foot or anything like that. So now we have this little bend in our treble hook. you can use your wire cutters, but I actually recommend using pliers. I forgot to say that as a material, and bend that into a little hook. So, you know, this only took about a minute, but I got that hook rounded off. And now what you're going to want to do is pull your hook back, the treble hook, and just hook it into the back of the bait. You know, and it doesn't matter how taut the line is. You can have a little bit of slack in your braid. That doesn't matter. And, you know, there we go. That is your stinger hook on your swim bait. I'm actually going to even that out a little bit. And, yeah, there we go. Really pleased with the way this came out and the way that this looks. Beautiful swim bait right here. And as you can see, the hook is a lot less raised, and you got two now. So when that fish comes, whether it's from behind or from the front, you have a lot better of a chance of hooking it, a lot better of a chance of getting it into the boat, and it's not going to take away much action of the bait. We still have our tail moving completely freely, and you know, that's basically it. We didn't add a lot of weight to it. We got now a perfectly rigged swim bait ready to catch some fish. So I'm going to go throw this in the tackle box and go on a fishing trip with this bad boy. I'll see you folks next time. And like I always say at the end of my videos, God bless, tight lines, and you know, hey, may the fish be with you, because they're definitely with me this time of the year. See you folks next time.